Hello. So today I have a kind of an interesting reading. We are going to use runes. So it is pick a rune, but I haven't picked them yet. I want to pick them here, live with you guys, if you will. And then we'll move on to your reading as well. So I'm also going to be interpreting the runes, obviously, and their meaning and kind of seeing what resonates, because I'm going to be reading from this book. And this book is really interesting. It just doesn't give you the meanings. It also gives you some kind of background. It gives you the folklore, the stories that come along with the runes. And sometimes certain anecdotes from there kind of are pulled through, and they want to be, the message from that rune. It doesn't have to be verbatim exactly what the rune means. Sometimes it's also the story that's around it that's going to be significant for each pile or each, I want to say community, but what I mean is collective. So yeah, let's begin. What I want to say is that I'm going to pick 3 runes, and then that'll be pile number 1, 2, and 3. And I also have pre-shuffled and pre-picked oracles, and then a little bit of tarot as well. I think 1 tarot card. Yeah, 2 tarot cards. We're just going to develop the story, develop the reading with that. This is a reading, I should say a message that's coming from Odin, the creator of the runes. If you don't really have any knowledge of who he is, or even care, and you just want to watch this because it's a rune reading along with some oracles and tarot, you could do that too. But it is with the intention that the message here is coming from Odin. So, all right, if you would like to stay for this reading, this is the moment to do so. And if not, go move along to another video. All right. So, I don't know why I have to give that disclaimer there. I just think, I don't know why, but I had to say it. If this is not your vibe, it's not your vibe. Runes have always been very intriguing to me. I know some of you might stay because of that, because it is intriguing. Let me stop moving this around just for no reason, and let's get into the reading, guys. So let's see. It's the message, the rune for pile number 1. I'll give you the names and everything like that once I have all of them out, okay? And pile number 2. And pile number 3. I'm not taking reversals, so all right, these are our 3 runes there. Thank you. And I'm going to go in the book and actually look for them and mark them so that I can be kind of ready for you guys. Okay. That way when we head into your reading, so pile number 1, your rune is EIHWAZ, and it means transition. Also Yi, like the Yi tree, and the correspondence for it is a bow, like a bow and arrow. Very interesting. It also, just for letter-wise, it's the letter I or the letter E, and sometimes it's the letter Y as well, just in case that kind of means anything to you. All right, Let's look at pile 2. Pile 2. I think I know this one. Yeah, okay. HAGALAZ. It's actually, it means hail. Pile 2, maybe you resonate with the number 111 just because that's one of the pages here where the description starts for your rune. So yeah, this is this means disruption, hail. It's the letter H. So yeah, I don't want you to be scared about that. We're gonna dig into that. All right, and let's see for pile 3, what's your rune? Oh, there we are. Okay. Very interesting mix. Okay. So for pile 3, this is TIWAZ, which is the god TERRA. The sound is the letter T as in Tuesday, and the correspondence is Mars. It makes sense because Tuesday is the Mars day. So very interesting. Very interesting combination that we have here. So I want you to pick your pile and then head on to that timestamp, because we're actually going to be reading from the book, kind of I'm going to give you the background of the rune, if you will, the message that is coming along with it, and then we're going to move on to your oracle and your tarot cards. So I'll see you in your pile. So welcome pile 1. If you picked the EIHWAZ rune, which means Yi tree, also means it corresponds to transition. This is going to be your reading. I want to read you the keywords of what the rune means. Transition, matters of life and death, literal or symbolic, gateway, threshold, a grave, a wound, immortality, everlastingness, and regeneration. You guys seem to be you're about to embark on a very significant transition in your life. There's a death and a rebirth that's happening with this collective, where to you guys it could almost be tangible at this moment, or you could also be planning some kind of big change. However you put it, this rune has a lot of, the message behind it wants to be a death and a rebirth, but it comes from a place of, oh, excuse me, Iris, it comes from a place of you outgrowing what you are and wanting more and getting more because of it. There's a lot of growth that's surrounding you at this time. I'm going to take Iris jumping on here as a sign of I'm on the right track. So just a little bit of from the book here. I want to read you a little bit of very significant points that are made here. So it says that the Yi trees were often planted in the village churchyard, and the Yi becomes hollow in the center as they age, giving them a dark, mysterious appearance. This hollow is symbolic of a gateway, a threshold. You are passing through such a gateway. Like a grave, it is an ending. Like a wound, it's a beginning. Similarly, our existence is a series of gateways, an ongoing process of birth and rebirth, right? It mentions that EIHWAZ is the staff of the thread of continuity. So it definitely, right? Regeneration. We are often, all of us seem to be on a path, especially if you're on the path of of a spiritual journey, if you've gone through a spiritual awakening, you truly know that it's not just one. You have plenty. You have many more to come. And it's almost like you regenerate. You become a little different, but more yourself each time around. You truly are in a process, Pawan. It's very beautiful. It's a very, I like how even the rune, how it looks. Either way you put it, it's well, this one's not reversible. It's one of the 9 runes that are not reversible, but however you look at it, it still looks like itself, but it's, well, I don't know what I want to say with that, but anyways, however you want to look at this, I think it ties into your reading in the sense of however you want to look at this death that is happening to you in this moment, whatever you're leaving behind, you know that you're going to be propelled. I want you to know, right, that you're going to be propelled forward into a new version of yourself. It's not leaving everything behind it and that you've changed so much and you're going to become a brand new person. If anything, it's you're going to grow as a person because of the person you have been. And it's a very beautiful thing to honor at this time, where everything that you've gone through, everything that maybe the person that you used to be has gotten you through up to this point. All right, so I'm going to get into your tarot and oracle here, and I just want to see how it ties into your reading. And this is going to be more of advice because I feel like the runes give us a little bit of something, but this should develop the message a little bit more. So let's see. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Very interesting. You've been on this journey for a while. You know what this looks like to me? The fact that it's mirrored like this, it literally, it's what I was trying to say with the rune. Just how it looks like, however I look at this card, however I look at the rune, it looks the same. I think Odin is saying here that however you want to look at this, it's, first of all, it's happening. You are changing. You are shifting. You are having a rebirth, okay? Maybe you've just recently gotten out of like a dark night of the soul. Maybe some shadow work has been done. But however you want to look at this, the growth is here. Also, the offer of this new beginning is here as well. Maybe it's been a long time coming because this is the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight. However, Pile 1, you should know that it's here to stay. It's a grounded thing. It's a solid change. You've been taking the steps that are required for you to then be at this point of transition. Even the energy has shifted here for me because I had a really tough time starting your reading. Like I couldn't even get my words together. Like my throat was closing up. It's almost like you don't know how to make sense of this sometimes, but you should, I think you're trusting in that everything is going to work out as it should, and that you want to be supported in that too. Here you are being supported in that, where you should just keep doing what you're doing. You're taking the right steps forward. You're headed towards this beautiful change in your life. It's a very pivotal point for you at this time, it seems. Oh wow, look at that, the Ace of Swords. This card, just how it's always depicted as well, the imagery makes me think of someone cutting through the bullshit with clear communication, honesty, a clear mind, if you will. But then again, this is the Ace of Swords. It's the sword that comes, the truth, the enlightenment, or I also want to say what is the word that I'm looking for? It's also the divine clearing this path for you. Because usually in the regular tarot, this is like the hand of the ethers, right? Handing you the sword. So this is also the divine saying you're supported in what you're doing. It's almost like it's arming you. It's arming this Knight of Pentacles. Not just with the pentacle, which is it's kind of the seed that you're about to plant. It's, if you want to look at it as a birthing something, coming, bringing something to life, right? Your rebirth is happening. But you also are armed with a lot of truth and a lot of knowledge, Pile One. Maybe there's a lot of knowledge that you have not shared with anybody. And part of this rebirth of yours is being confident enough to believe in yourself. And because you believe in yourself, you share your message fearlessly. You're being called to do that as well. Maybe some of you have, in a way, have some spiritual gifts that you have been reluctant to share with others, or maybe you just kept into yourself, kind of for like your self growth and stuff like that. But I think it's time. It's time to share them, because there's a purpose to you having them in the first place. Although, granted, it's okay to just keep your spiritual gifts to yourself and for your own journey and your own self-growth. But I think it's even more beautiful when you can share what you've gone through, share what you have acquired in the sense of knowledge about yourself, and how can others reach that knowledge of themselves. It's not that what you know to be true, it's the end of be all, but it's what has made you come to this precipice of change. And I think other people would be very much inspired by it. It's what I'm seeing here. Wow, look at that. A unicorn. Purity. It's almost like you're this unicorn amongst... it's like what's emerging from you. It's this beautiful energy. Excuse me. Mid yarn there. It's this beautiful energy of like, it's mythical, it's unbelievable, but it's here. You cannot ignore it as well. I think I'm speaking to the collective that's going through this, but it's also almost like I'm speaking to you from an outside point of view. Like, I think you're very much seen by your spirit guides as this. You're mythical, you're unbelievable, but you're tangible, you're real. You're definitely real with the Knight of Pentacles. That is a very grounded energy. But there's magic about you. There's wonder. I think this is also your soul here saying, we're more than just what meets the eye, if you will. But not everyone gets this side of you. And what Spirit is saying is, maybe it's time that you show everyone this side of you, this magic. And it's not just you, but it's like you can show other people how they are magical themselves. All right, let's continue. Oh, look at that. A fiery climax approaches full moon in Aries. The Aries makes me think of like, yeah, full charge ahead. Like if you want to do something here where you have a very passionate new beginning of some sort, especially speaking about the fact that you are going through a death and a rebirth, a transition point, right? Aries energy is a really good energy to have backing you up, kind of like fueling that fire of yours. Very interesting. Okay. Starseed, self, memories, and identity. I think this speaks about kind of like what you maybe struggle with. I almost said I don't want to read you, but this is literally what I'm doing. I'm giving you a reading. So I think you might struggle with your identity in the sense of you don't know where you belong. Maybe you do feel like a mythical creature that is kind of, it's bound to the earth plane, not knowing how to express your magic, or it might seem like magic to others, but to you it's just your natural state of being. I just saw 1212 on my timer. That could be significant for some of you. So interesting. But you have such a livelihood and a colorful, your mind is a very colorful place as well. Your imagination is a colorful place. It's the fact that we have rainbows and then we have the unicorn as well. It's really interesting. Yeah, I think what you're missing, Pawan, Maybe it's community, because there's two people on this card. Maybe what you seem to be kind of like, you see how he's like looking out and like deep in thought. Maybe what you're missing, what you're craving is community, soul family. I think, Pawan, it comes along with you being very authentic and staying in your power, being who you really feel like you are, expressing that without feeling like you're going to be judged, or I feel like you definitely feel misunderstood. I know it's almost like feeling misunderstood is what drives you to want to come out of your shell. It's what drives you to want to like really search for soul family. Excuse me, search for soul family, for like-minded individuals. That could be the what you're in the precipice, at the precipice of doing as well. Wow, look at that. You got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. You see how there's even more people in this card? You seem to be, the transition that you are doing seems to be one of coming from a place of maybe not keeping the best, environment around you, not keeping the best suitable, you might be outgrowing your environment and your connections, and that is very scary to you, it seems. But at the same time, you do feel how this has been a long time coming. You do feel how there's so much propelling you forward. The energy has been building up, and you are about to kind of just be. It's even like how this card keeps calling me back to it. How there's just like, could be like an explosion of some sorts. You cannot hold back who you are, of who you feel like you are anymore. And I think it's time for you to express it freely. It's been a long time coming again. It's been in the works for a while, and the divine is saying it's time. It's time for you to embark in this transition completely. Wow, okay. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I think this is what you've been embodying all this time, where I keep looking back at the Knight of Pentacles, like this energy. You understand that if you've maybe misstepped in the past, it's just been a learning opportunity for you. Your soul is completing this lesson. It's a major lesson that you are completing here, that's coming full circle for you. Wow, blue star. Follow the light in your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. That's beautiful. Again, yeah, it's a moment. It's a moment for you coming up here where authenticity speaks volume. It speaks to your character, and it speaks to the growth, literally the growth that you've done and that you continue to do. It's like because you have the rune of transition, it's like never ending growth. You just keep evolving and keep growing and being not different per se, but a better version of yourself. All right, truth. I see your light, know your power, have the courage to walk through your truth. This is what this card was talking about to me. Authenticity and truth seems to be very significant for you guys here. Wow, look at that. More fire energy. I like that. All right. Cheetah. Fast moving energy. So this change has been very, I want to say like a slow burn, but it's about to, it's a fiery climax, right? It's about to just come into life. This is what I'm saying. It's like a ripple effect. It's like an explosion, if you will. A very fast moving energy, but with purpose, with a lot of purpose. The fact that, yeah, let's I'm gonna, I'll probably read from the book for the cheetah just because I think I should. Before I turn this one over, which is the unicorn deck, oddly enough, I want to read from the book for cheetah. Let's see what it has to say for you guys. Just know that it's going to be significant. It says, solar force, action, achievement, and masculine energy. When in balance, achieves anything, boundless energy. When out of balance, impatient and competitive. To bring into balance, connect to purpose. Reconnect to purpose, I'm sorry. Reconnect to purpose seems to be a thing here. Maybe that's part of the soul lesson, if you will. If you've been led astray a bit by this journey just because it's been a long one, it's time for you to redirect yourself back to what matters, if you will. I feel like maybe some of you have had kind of like an off period, an off in the sense of you haven't been feeling yourself. Maybe it's because you have literally have been going through a transition. You've been going through some kind of rebirth, but it takes time for everything to kind of calibrate, for your body to get adjusted, for your mind, for maybe some of your spiritual gifts kind of to retweak and realign to kind of what you're heading towards as well. It's been a fast-moving energy, but also a slow burn, if you will, towards this rebirth of yours. So it says that the cheetah is the epitome of the solar force at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah, it shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. Wow. Yeah, the ripple effects. This transformation has happened within you, and now it's time for it to shine through you, if you will. Makes so much sense. It's like I was saying back here, where it's time for the world to see you for who you are, for the unicorn, the beautiful mythical creature that you are. The energy within the cheetah is personality is palpable to the others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. My goodness, didn't I say that I feel like I'm reading for you, but I'm also reading kind of like what the community that's observing you feels like, what people perceive you as. Not just your guides, but now it seems it's other people as well. And it makes sense because you're attracting soul family, it seems. So it says, purpose and passion are the best fuel for the cheetah for its forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. So yeah, some of you might be in a moment, the transition period that's being spoken about here it's a double-edged sword, if you will. It's interesting that we have the sword here. All right, a play on words, if you will. Okay, it's a double-edged sword in the sense that the transition period in itself has served you as a way for you to reconnect, like stand back and really see what you want to head forth with, what you want to throw yourself at, if you will. What this seed that you're holding, this pentacle, this new beginning, it's kind of like making you recoil so that you can move forward again. It's a double-edged sword in that sense, where it has given you the time that you needed to kind of reconnect, go within. Again, it does very much feel like you've had a couple of weeks or maybe months of you kind of diving deep into your subconscious, into the unknown, into the shadows of yourself, of your soul, of your being, of your path, to then be able to move forward, because now you've gained some kind of enlightenment here. You found your passion and new beginning by going within, retreating, if you will. And that's how you find your why, the reason why you're moving forward. All right. last card. Look at that. My goodness. The fact that this is literally about growth. It's transition, the moving, the constant regeneration of who you are, and learning about who you are, and accepting that and moving forward with it regardless, and kind of like acquiring all of these soul lessons. It leads to growth, literally, quite literally. This is what you've been doing. Again, it has put you in a state of reflection, but at the same time, it has led to you finding your way out of who you don't want to be anymore, or who you no longer are. And now you're stepping into your, I want to say you're stepping into your divinities. You seem to be ready as well. You seem to you've probably have outgrown your teacher, if you will. The student has become the teacher. You're ready to teach. You're ready to, and that circles back to what I was saying in the beginning, where maybe the spiritual gift that you have acquired, it's time for you to implement them, use them to help others acquire their gifts as well. Whatever capacity that is, it doesn't have to be magical or anything like that. It could just be growth. You've done a lot of growth, and you can show people how you've done it so that they can do it for themselves. Not to be like you, but to grow into who they themselves are meant to be, just like you have here. It says, seek out a mentor or guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. This feels like what you've been doing, Pile 1. And now you've gone from this to this. Now you get to help others. This is what this says to me, because you're being shown here as the unicorn. So it's like you've mastered your wings. You've mastered something here. It's going to be different for all of you. If you want to share it in the comments, I would love, I love it when all of you guys share like what you've been through. And believe it or not, it actually, maybe that's part of this message, where whenever people leave comments in my videos, and they tell a little bit about their story, and they say how a certain thing resonates because they have been going through such and such and whatever it might be, I read everything that everybody comments, and sometimes I share back, or sometimes I like the comments, or whatever it might be. But I can guarantee you, every single time that I read someone's story, anything that they're willing to share, most of the time it's a message for me in itself. This is your message as well, Pile 1. Sometimes whatever, even minuscule things that you share with others, you have no idea how much it would resonate with them and help them, even if it's even if they're not going through this exact same thing that you've been through or are going through. It still would resonate with them at some level if it's meant to. That's part of your message here too. Maybe that's why you guys are, I keep circling back to you, who need to share your story. You need to share what you've been through. There's some kind of outlet for you here. Some of you could be creatives in some sense, because she's drawing the pentacle. She's holding it and she's looking at it, but she's drawing it at the same time. So maybe kind of like what you've been through is something that you share with others through speaking it, writing it, drawing it, painting it, and that it's going to resonate with who it needs to, and it's going to help and reach those people that it needs to. And amongst those people are going to be your soul family as well. I think you're ready for this. You're ready to embark on this journey of yours to authenticity and truth, and just loving yourself for who you are, because you deserve that. There's no doubt in my mind here. You've gone through such a long transition of growth, a long path, a long journey of growth. And you know, you're there. You're at the pivotal point of a rebirth, if you will. Very beautiful reading. I really hope that this resonated with you guys and it helped you. I appreciate you for letting me read for you, letting me, you know, bring messages from your guides to you here, for all your likes and your comments as well. And I will see you in your next reading that you watch. All right. Have a good one, part one. Hello, part two. So if you pick this rune, which is HAGALAZ, and it means hail, or also disruption, this is going to be your reading. I have to say, part two, this this rune is, it's carrying a very interesting message for you guys. It's not just one of, maybe you're about to, or you have finally finished some kind of very tough cycle in your life. For some of you, I do generally feel like it's behind you. It's about to turn into something. The tough time that you've experienced, the winter, if you will, which we are heading into spring, oddly enough. The winter that you've experienced this time around has been very significant for you. Has been significant in your growth, but it also in your emotional, emotional intelligence seems to be significant for you guys as well. I'm going to put the rune here while I read a little bit from the book here for you guys. Just whatever jumped out at me as important that I had to mention for you. So first I'm going to start with the keywords. It means hail, a hostile element, disruption, change, delay, a cancellation of plans, and then difficulty, but it's temporary. And then what I want to read for you is this part right here, that it seems to be what your message is about, right? It says, hail ultimately turns to water. Okay, that's obvious, right? But hail turns to water with the rise of life-giving sun, and water is in itself a flowing, fertilizing aspect of the life force. Similarly, emotional blockages are often resolved by tears, which dissolve like rain in the light of a new day. So whatever challenging HAGALAZ provides a lesson in the critical nature of fortune and misfortune, how a beneficial event may later become a source of luck, or even, in the light of understanding, growth. Without a doubt, I feel it, because that was the part of the whole explanation in the book that really resonated with me for you guys. Is you have gone through a tough cycle, and I mean tough. Hail, it's not just, it doesn't just come along with a cold. If it falls on you, it's going to hurt. It's painful physically, and could be, you could have gone through a lot of physical pain. You could have gone through a lot of emotional pain. Maybe the emotional pain that you've harbored has also manifested in your body, in your reality all around you. as affecting your health and your physical body as well. And it's interesting that the book mentions how tears, the flow of tears, releases a lot of the emotional burdens and the emotional turmoil. And that, I think, if you haven't had a good cry in a while, maybe it's time to do that. Maybe a lot of you are very emotional beings who don't know how to express your emotions. You might carry them with you, hold on to them tightly, don't release them. And HAGALAZ is here to tell you, it's time to let the ice melt. It's time to let the sun, and I think a little bit of brightness and happiness, enlighten you to a point of melting away the sorrow, stepping away, I should say, stepping into the sun, if you will, in a symbolic or quite literal way. Maybe you need to go out in the sun for a while, or maybe what you need to is shift your perspective in something, or if you're seeking enlightenment in some kind of way to help you with this tough cycle, I feel like that is coming as well. However you phrase it, or however I should say, however I phrase it, the message here is the sun is coming, the enlightenment is coming, the warmth, the whatever you need to release the coldness, the stagnation, I feel like some of you have been redirected or put on hold for a while, quite literally put on ice for a while. It's about to come to an end, okay? Let's dig into your oracle and tarot and just see how this message wants to develop. Wow, look at that. My goodness. All right. The Six of Swords. Talk about moving away from turmoil and into calmer waters. The fact that she's traveling on the sea as well. How symbolic and how significant. Yeah, you're moving away from a very tough cycle. It's time. You're done there. I feel that you feel like you are done. You're done with this energy, the harshness of it, at least. Now it's time for you to view it as a time where you've learned a lot, but you're stepping away, you're flowing away from it. I think you're allowing the flow of the fluidity of water, right? How it's just, I don't know, like drifting you away into something better. I think you're allowing that. You're not on frozen water anymore. You know, like in winter, let's say the sea could be frozen, and yeah, you could walk on it. But now you could only walk so far, right? But now that it's melted and it's back to its fluidity, if you will, you can travel further. And I think that's what's coming for you. You're going to go further now with the knowledge that you've acquired through this tough cycle of yours. Wow, the Knight of Wands. I like how it's depicted as a very much, very fertile, very beautiful kind of spring energy. Even like if I put these side by sides, definitely could be winter into spring here. You're drifting into beautiful energy, Pautu. You deserve it. I feel like you're gonna have, excuse me, there's a newfound passion that you want to pursue, and it brings you a lot of joy, and your guides want to tell you that you should drift into joy. Allow the journey to lead you to joy and passion and new beginnings. You deserve it. You've gone through a very tough thing here. Wow. Okay. Dragon power 11. Give me a second here because I think your page. Yes, look at that. The initial description of your rune is on page 111, 111. Speaks again to new beginnings. A powerful new beginning. There's, I think, yeah, you've been in this stasis kind of energy. It's like a waiting period that you've been on. But all this time being in that energy kind of just added to your power, added to your, yeah, quite literally your power. I can't say anything else. I like the fact that we have a dragon here, right? Dragons, fire melts ice. Kind of complements the whole thing that I'm talking about here, where it's like you ended a tough cycle, and you're ending it maybe from a point of a very powerful stance now, because you've been in the flow with your emotions. You've been hermiting when you need to, pulling back your energy when you need to, but also now you feel it, that it's time for you to charge forward into this passionate new beginning, using the fact that it's a night, it's a moving energy, and it's like you're stepping into your power here. A gift that you deserve, may I add, because of the tough time that you've been going through as well. Wow. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. More fire energy. Look at that. Luck is on your side. Maybe you haven't felt lucky in a long time. You probably haven't, actually, because you've been going through some very tough shit, but it's time for a new beginning. A new moon as well. Wow. Maybe look at when we have a new moon in Sagittarius. That could be a very significant new moon for you guys. Maybe to set new goals, or it's a pivotal point for you. I actually have a moon calendar here, so I'm gonna see if we have a new moon in Sag anytime soon. Let's see. We have a full moon in Sagittarius coming up in June, but no, we want to look for a new moon. Okay. It's very interesting, Paul too. So we have a new moon in Sag, but it's actually in December. 12/12. Interesting that it's on a portal day as well. If you have just started the tough cycle that we're talking about, December 12th could be significant for you as an ending pivotal point. If you have ended this tough cycle of yours, it seems that you are going to be in the transition and the developing stages of your next new beginning. Like, you're stepping away from the harshness, but it takes time, right, to arrive at this new beginning of yours. However, it's going to be a better goal of a better what is it that I want to say? A better experience from this moment forward. But a pivotal point for you could be December 12th as well. And this is a timeless reading, so maybe this encounters you right before December 12th, and you're going to be like, aha, I have been going through a tough cycle. Well, here you are. It's just very, very interesting that this new moon falls on 12/12, which is a portal day. And portal days this year are so significant for some reason. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's keep going with your reading. Ooh, Pleiadians. Unconditional love, excitement, and laughter. I think this is what's coming your way, this good energy. Very good energy. Beautiful. You deserve it, Pal, too. I think you maybe have even doubt doubted yourself or doubted that you are deserving of good things because of how long or how significant this harshness has been for you. But again, I'm being guided to remind you to just realize that there's an enlightenment coming, the sun is coming, good energy is coming your way. Don't give up, pal, too. Don't give up on your dreams, and definitely don't give up on the things that you know you deserve, the good things that you deserve. Wow, look at that. Activated Earth. Power places, ley lands, trust where you're led. Exactly. Power here twice, super significant. And the fact that it's saying to trust where you're led, Pal 2. It's very significant for you as well. I think the thing is, it's been like a hiccup on the road, right? On the journey of yours, where this tough period could possibly have tested your faith in yourself, in your journey, in your spiritual growth, but you're being asked to redirect that. This is the moment where you should really, it's like double down on yourself, believe in yourself, because this easier flow of things is about to happen for you, okay? And if you're maybe in the middle of the harshness, and I know that it's easier said than done to just be like, oh, be optimistic, things, are going to get better. Believe that, okay? If this reading found you in the midst of a lot of turmoil and harsh time in your life, this reading is saying that there's an end to it, and there's a purpose for it as well. There's going to be enlightenment about it. You're going to know what it is, and more than anything, you're going to be a better person for this that's happening, and to not give up on yourself and not give up on your dreams, and to trust where you're being led. There's good energy coming your way, okay? Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. The fact that this is speaking about unconditional love. Maybe the tough cycle here has been regarding you dealing with unconditional love, but it feels like it's at a very personal level. You might, what's the word that I would say? Deprive yourself of unconditional love. You might give it to others, but you deprive yourself of it. And this time, it's kind of trying to teach you, testing your resolve to live in the energy of love, but not just for others, but for yourself. Maybe there's a lot of emotional wounds here, Pal 2, that you're overcoming. That the sun, this fire energy, this warmth is going to melt away. It's like let the tears flow, because it's like by doing so you release a lot of pent up things that you don't need anymore. Look at that, surrender. Literally, trust where you're led. The Six of Swords drifting away. Like, wow. Okay. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life in this present moment. Okay. I can see how that can be very challenging, especially when, if you really focus on the present moment, you feel a lot of despair, or like things are never going to change. They're just going to stay like this. However, it doesn't seem that way. Again, it doesn't seem that way at all, Pile 2. It just seems that the harshness is trying to get you to tap into yourself, to make you believe in yourself, if you will. Earth Guide, wow, wow. Your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. I think love is a very tough could be a very tough lesson for you here. Not giving it. I think you give it, quite frankly, you might spread it all around, and it's not about giving love. It's about maybe you're learning to receive love. And that is one of the toughest lessons I think most of us that have a very big heart, or just wear our heart on our sleeves, or are just loving people to others. One of the toughest actually lessons to learn is to receive love, to allow ourselves to receive love, to find ourselves worthy of receiving love. Because honestly, your power seems to be in being a loving being. It keeps coming back to that as well now. We have love everywhere. Maybe also love is what's going to help to soften. Maybe love is the energy that the HAGALAZ is speaking about as far as the sun. Maybe love is the energy, the emotion that is kind of going to melt away this ice, if you will. Going to get you through the tough times. Maybe the tough times help you to love yourself as well. Oh, mouse. The mouse energy, earth energy, by the way, we have earth here a couple of times as well. The mouse is a very meticulous little creature, very trying to get things in order, if you will. There's little sparks all around. You might feel this little, but you're not insignificant, Pautu. All right, I'm going to read from the book for you from this one because you need it. All right. Let's see what the mouse has to say for you guys. I just heard little mouse. All right. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. When in balance, organized, resourceful, and prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance a meaningful project. That makes sense because I was saying, like, you find this newfound passion of yours, and I think it leads you to encountering who you are, and it also leads you to be in the space of a loving energy, be in very receptive to love, and that's going to help you probably overcome some fears around love. Could be as well. All right. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite painful an experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into. One that's worthy of your exacting eye. So maybe this is what the surrender is talking about, where if you just stay in the present moment, you don't have to think about how everything has to play out a certain way. Just stay close to kind of like what is it that I want to say? Stay connected to what you can kind of tend to in the moment, and don't try to look too much ahead or the grand scheme of things. Maybe it's time for you to kind of hone back into self, if you will. That's how you kind of tame your maybe your need to actually tend to others, or maybe what I was saying, where like you give unconditional love, you have a lot of love to give. Maybe it's time to kind of like put that energy back into yourself at this moment. Tend to yourself. And I think in doing so, you're going to naturally always tend to others anyways, but maybe it's time to pour that into yourself. All right, let's see what the final card is here. Wow. I'm telling you, there's love here. Love is significant for you guys. Very significant. Beloved, prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationships. Believe you are lovable. My goodness, didn't I say that? Believe you are lovable, Patu. You are lovable. We have butterflies here. We have butterflies here. What a beautiful energy. You're moving away from such a tough cycle. It probably has to do with relationships and love. Maybe you've been in love a couple of times that it's never really worked out, and that could be something that you struggle with, and that it could have led you to struggle with self-love as well. When I tell you it's coming to an end, you know what? This is the fact that I'm seeing this now. The bow makes me think of Cupid's arrow, if you will. This and the beloved we know, and they're saying literally prepare for your life partner. Wow. We couldn't have ended this in a better note. A lot of different little messages, because I feel like this collective, whoever picked Pao 2, it's almost like you're going through a lot of changes, if you will. You're changing in the aspect of like your life and your life journey, but that leads to you having some changes when it comes to like I said, emotional health, or emotional well-being, and also emotional growth, and like I don't know, there's just like emotional intelligence about you. And then also that leads you to learning how to like be open and receptive to love again, because you know that you deserve it. Maybe you're a lover who just likes being in love. You enjoy that. And if you've had to retreat, and quite literally the fact that this is saying its ice melts, it's like you're melting your icy heart, because it's time. You've been mending yourself. You've been trying to, what is it? You've been trying to mend your heart. Maybe you've gone through a heartbreak. Maybe that's the coldness that we were talking about, the harsh time here. That's coming to an end, because you deserve it. You deserve it. I feel like you know that this is coming your way. Maybe it's taken a while, right? But the passion in your beginning is about to be here, okay? And it's not just going to be a passion in your beginning with someone else. It also feels like it's in your life itself. Like you are going to have a passion for life again. And it's not tied just to another person or a connection, but it's tied to the growth that you've done all this time. You really have. I want to commend you for the growth and your tenacity to move forward. Your patience to know that ice eventually will melt and it will become fluid again, and things are just going to flow in and out of my life, and I'm going to flow into whatever I'm meant to, if you will. That's you speaking through me right now. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Pao2, for watching. I really hope that this helped you. It resonated, and it brought you a little bit of clarity or confirmation if you needed that as well. Wishing you nothing but the best, and I'll see you in the next reading that you watch, all right? Hello, Pal 3. So if you pick this rune, TIWAZ, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to leave your rune here while I read a little bit from this book. I want to read you the keywords that come along with this rune first, and then I'll read you a little bit of the passage that I feel kind of resonates with me for your reading here today, okay? So keywords: a fight, a position, sanctified battle, righteous crusade, justice, honor, bravery, dedication, promises, oath of alliance, the warrior archetype, the spiritual warrior. Spiritual warrior is very significant for you. So TIWAZ means the warrior, or it's also the god Tyr. It corresponds with Mars energy, and also hence Tuesday as well, because Tuesday is Mars energy. There's a little part here that is very significant. I don't just have it highlighted, I underlined it as well. And not this, it wasn't today, but it was when I did my research with the runes, and I read pretty much all of them with this book, and I'm still learning, because this is like it's a learning process. I realized that I've been studying them for almost a year, but there's so much to them that, and believe it or not, it's easier to learn as I go than it is to just sit there and like read the entire book a couple of times. It doesn't work like that. I'm a hands-on learn it. This could be a message for you guys as well. So I learn hands-on, so I have to use them in readings in order for me to like continuously just keep them archived in my mind, if you will. All right, anyways, I got sidetracked. So it says, live your own truth rather than submitting to domination from outside. You guys, and I mentioned also that spiritual warrior, it like rings bells in my mind every time I say it when it comes to your reading. You guys have a very unique path here that you've been on. So it's, wow. All right, so let's get into it, right? So this embodies the principles of justice, bravery, honor, and dedication to a cause higher than the individual itself. All right, so it says, through the global age war, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to read. So on a personal level, we can draw on the strength of the inner warrior to carry us through the hardships and oppositions. Being a warrior in the fuller sense relates to discipline, courage, tenacity, and the principle of action. And then there's that line that I highlighted and underlined: live your own truth rather than submitting to the domination from outside. Yet, as a warrior, you should also draw on your strength for the benefit of others, defending your friends, your family, community, and standing up for those who are too weak to protect themselves. On a planetary level, it is imperative that we begin turning our warrior energy in defense of our fragile world rather than causelessly worrying, right? Being at war with nature and one another. So that's what I mean, where it feels like you guys have such an intense, your message is intense, because your journey and your path, and it's almost like you might feel deep and like your inner being, like your inner truth is one of helping others. You have a big purpose, Pal 3. So it says, especially identified with the concept of unwavering justice and its defense against attacks from without. It is a token of faith The god to whom this rune is sacred is the guardian of oath and guardian and the guiding star, the principal behavior that forms the model of action in the world. You might have a connection to, I'm seeing the justice card for you guys. That's what keeps coming up. But also, it's like, it's not that you feel righteous and like you can, what is it? bring justice upon things, but you might feel this sense of you want to help others, you want to bring justice to those who cannot fight for themselves. You might be pursuing some kind of cause, or you're about to kind of narrow your sights on something that you want to change. And honestly, it even touches about it in the book, where it's like at a planetary level. I think you've embodied this energy of the warrior, the inner warrior. You tapped into it for yourself, for your life, and now you're like, I'm ready for it to help me with my purpose here in this lifetime. You have it's a very big energy that you carry here. You drew a god to your reading, so that's very significant. And not just any god, the god of war, Mars, but also not just because you want to fight endlessly. It's not that, and that's not even that you want to fight. It's almost like you want to excuse me, talk about confirmation. It's not even that, before I got interrupted, it's not that you're seeking a fight. It's more of like you're taking this warrior spirit of yours and pouring it into wanting it to make a significant change for the betterment of all. It's not just for you. You don't even want the credit. You don't want the... you're not seeking admiration. You're not seeking, what is it? You just care about the grand community. You care about the well-being of all. And you might also feel burdened by this need to help others, or this, yeah, it's a need. It's almost like you don't feel good unless you feel like you're working towards a purpose that helps a community or others that cannot fend for themselves or that cannot speak up for themselves. Let's dig into your oracle and your tarot, because I feel like there's more to this message. It's gonna help me develop the message. I just say this is a pile 3. You're leaving me here at a loss for words. There's just, your energy is very intense. All right, let's see. Wow. Well, this is the 2 of Swords, but in this deck, it's also the Hangman. And the Hangman is the card associated with ODIN, which is who's bringing you this message today. And he's here in this little card here that I have, but he's here in your reading as well. This is why your reading feels, your energy feels so intense. My goodness. All right. You're seeking, I think you're seeking knowledge or enlightenment about something, because that's literally what the Hangman means. Excuse me. In order to make a choice, you're at a choice. You're about to choose a way, a path to follow, maybe a cause to fight for, if you will. You might be in the stages of trying to look for one, or not just look. There's plenty of them, right? It's almost like the veil from your eyes is going to be lifted, and you're going to see the clear choice, the things that you should be pursuing. The fact that this even looks like a little arrow, it's like you're going to be pointed in the right direction. by your spirit guides, for sure. Without a doubt, you're a very, I think you have a lot of esoteric knowledge. You have a lot of spiritual gifts. Maybe you tap into them, maybe you don't, maybe you're about to. You're very connected. You have literally the presence of Odin here and the presence of the god Tyr, which is incredible. Incredible. Wow. And the Six of Cups and also the Lovers in this deck. So the Six of Cups makes me think that you've probably pursued this passionate thing. Also, not just passionate thing. You pursued having a big heart, a global sense of love for everyone, and especially Mother Earth, it seems, in a lot of past lives of yours. The fact that the Lovers is also about choice. And the three eyes makes me think of when the veil is lifted for you here, it's like a third eye activation for you as well. I'm a little bit at a loss for, excuse me, oh my God. The fact that I've sneezed, yawned, had hiccups throughout your reading. Freaking incredible. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm just, again, your energy is, let me keep going with the cards because I feel like eventually I'll get the whole message. If anything, this could be you. You could be a bit confused again, which is why you're looking at your choices, or you're about to make a choice. Again, in regards to what you want to pursue here, because you know that you have a lot of power. If you don't know, I'm telling you, you have a lot of drive and a lot of power and a lot of passion that's like just trying to be steered towards the right thing at this moment. There's a big choice coming ahead for you. Wow, look at that. Fire spirit, energy. You carry so much energy, without a doubt. That you are very grounded into earth as well. The fact that she's planted and she's a tree, but she also has fire within her. Carry a lot of energy, and it could be sometimes disruptive, but it could be in the best of ways. Kind of like, you know what this is making me think of? A controlled fire. You know how back in the days when those who live from the land or in the forest, or whatever, when we were more connected to Mother Earth, if you will, ancient civilizations, they used to burn the ground of the forest to prevent an even bigger fire from spreading. Before, it's like controlled burn. It helped the ashes then fertilized the trees, and they grew even better. It also helped with again keeping the forest clear, the forest floor clear. There's so much coming here through you. The fact that I'm bringing up old civilizations and stuff like that, and this was leading me to past lives. You've probably been here on Earth a couple of times. It definitely feels like have reincarnated here plenty of times, which is probably why you carry a lot of knowledge within. Also, your ancestral lineage could be very significant as well. Maybe you want to look into that. Very interesting. Oof. Yeah. Hold your vision. When you make this choice, POW 2. Ooh, POW 2. Interesting. POW 1. And I almost said POW 1. Oh my goodness. POW 3. When you make this choice, when you get this enlightenment, and it's almost like, okay, third eye, you have very clear vision now. You can see what you really want to pursue. hold that, okay? Don't let it, don't let anything lead you astray here. It could be a little bit challenging, which is why you probably need to draw from your inner warrior, if you will. Maybe you were a warrior in a past life as well. That could be coming through here. Very interesting and unique message for you guys, quite frankly. Wow, look, duality, what? All right, Anunnaki, controlling drama, conflict of interest. My goodness. All right, so the Anunnaki are here as well. What did I say about ancient civilizations? You carry a lot of knowledge within Pile 3. It's almost like you could tap into whatever you want to, quite frankly. With the forest here, the fire spirit, and but it being depicted with the forest, I'm thinking druids. Maybe you have some ties to the druids as well. Definitely Odin. Maybe also the runes. Maybe the Anunnaki. Maybe you are interested in like ancient civilizations, ancient wisdoms, and you kind of like want to carry this on, like carry this forward into like bringing that knowledge to this world at this time. I can see how you would need to have a warrior mentality when it comes to that, because it seems that the battle that we are fighting right now is definitely one around information and how people are misled and the truth are misconstrued and things are revealed but not fully, and then people don't know who to trust, what to believe in, if you will. And again, it makes sense that if you want to bring a lot of truth forward because you have the capability for it, you could be facing opposition because of that. That makes so much sense. Look at that. Empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, observing what's not yours. The mirror there looks like a portal to me for some reason. Observing what's not yours, I don't know, stuck with me just now. Maybe that's where the confusion lays, or the confusion lies, where there could be a lot of confusion around you because you're tapping into too much, and maybe you're being asked to hone into one thing. Again, a choice here. Maybe you're meant to choose one path at this moment, okay? It doesn't mean that you cannot later on choose another, but you might be being asked here to choose one thing that you want to focus on and bring enlightenment to. And then after you're done with that, again, hold your vision on that. After you're done with that, you can move on to the next. The fact that we have third eye, choice, hold your vision, like quite literally. Also, you might be someone who reads between the lines, or to see the truth for what it is, you're going to need to read between the lines as well. Interesting. Death. I'm learning that endings are merely new beginnings. This whole reading, part 1, 2, and 3, it could almost be seen as steps that you've taken if you watch all of them. And it also it's almost like it resembles the fact, because we started with a transition and we're ending with a transition, the death and a rebirth. It speaks to just how collectively different collectives are going through different stages of discovering who they are and what their purpose is, but at the same time, collectively, we are all working towards a new beginning here. And I think the beginning is around, again, information is power. The collectives, but you especially, Part 3, this collective, you've reached a point where you are going to probably unlock some information, some powerful knowledge that is not just going to help you, it's going to help the world. Global influence is significant here. Doesn't mean that you're going to be famous per se. It could be for some of you. But in your community, you might be bringing forth some knowledge that's going to just it's going to be significant. I can't say anything other than that. I'm trying to downplay it, but at the same time, it's like, why am I even trying to downplay it? That could be you. You could be downplaying your spiritual gift, or downplaying the knowledge that you've uncovered, the knowledge that you seem to understand as well. Just because someone reads a paragraph doesn't mean that they understand the same thing that you did. And again, we go back to the whole reading between the lines. Maybe that's one of your spiritual gifts, if you will. Or if you don't want to see it as a spiritual gift, it's one of your gifts. It's something that you've acquired from living many lifetimes, where you've learned to decipher things. You've learned to see things in a different light. That is a power that you hold. Maybe you don't see it as a power because you've been doing it your entire life, but let me tell you, that could be part of it. You might be able to see yourself for who you are now. Wow. Maybe you're a channeler. That makes sense. That makes so much sense. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. What did I say? Maybe your words are healing. How you phrase things, how you speak to others. The point that you try to get across could be a very healing energy that you carry. It's almost like how you gift the world with your healing. It's through your words, or through whatever you channel, whatever information comes through you, that you then kind of bring forth. I think this is interesting. This is what has been happening throughout your entire reading, Pile 3. It's almost like tapping into your energy has forced me, or not forced because it's not a bad thing, but it's pushing me to channel. It's pushing me to, I don't know. It's again, every time I say I'm a loss for words, but I kid you not, in my head, in my mind, there's so much that wants to come through. I'm also like, it's almost like that. Yeah, like I'm channeling, but there's so much that wants to come through. I feel like that's you. You're downright prophetic, quite frankly, Pile 3. It feels like you could be a prophet of our times, quite frankly. Your words are very significant, without a doubt. The fact that Odin is here, Odin is working with Odin's energy. You'll see that if you dive into it, I would advise for you to look into Odin a bit, and you'll see that it's about knowledge. It's about seeking truth, seeking understanding, studying, being a student of life. I feel like that's you. That speaks to your energy as well. Mother Earth. All right. Gaia, connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. What did I say? That you're very grounded. You're such a... you are, Pile 3, it's like you are an enigma. You are two sides of a coin. Because here she is grounded and half wood, yet she has fire in her hands, right? You could destroy yourself. And the Anunnaki makes sense too. It's like, again, they're mirrors of each other. It's like light and dark, or... and we have quite a literal mirror here as well. There's duality to you. Makes sense with the two, with even the lovers. Wow. All right, let's see. The snake. Wow. Flower of life is in here as well. I have a snake here. And if you saw the cover for this video, the letter O in ODIN, I used this, a snake. Literally, this symbol is the one that's on the cover of this video. It's not cover. What is that called? The thumbnail of this video. Wow, my goodness, how we come full circle, quite literally. Odin is definitely reaching out to you guys. If this reading has resonated, and I hope it has, because I feel like it's been a little bit of a struggle for me to get this message out to you, Pile 3. Maybe Odin definitely wants to work with you. I think you could be connected, or there could be a couple of deities trying to reach out to you, quite frankly. Angels as well. Some angelic stuff could be significant for you. All right, let's read about the snake, shall we? The fact that also, I have to mention it, the whole story in the Bible about the snake convincing Eve to bite into the apple, which is the tree of knowledge. And this whole thing has been about knowledge and information. My goodness. All right. All right. Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. Wow. When in balance, prosperous, creative, and charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. To bring into balance, Kundalini yoga or meditation. You could be going through a Kundalini awakening as well. Make sense? A lot of powerful energy within you. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that it is our creative life force that lays dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. But I feel like it's not just within you, but this is speaking about the world as well, and community, the collective as a whole as well. Untapped, there's untapped magic, untapped knowledge. All right, untapped potential. What would life look like if you woke it up? If you woke it up, yeah. How can you stare it from slumber and experience? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. Maybe it's time for you to develop a meditation practice or yoga practice, but meditation practice seems to be the main one here. Maybe that's how you kind of arrive at this knowledge that you're trying to unlock, Path 3. Maybe you have done it already. That's just confirmation for you that you've gone through a Kundalini awakening. There's a lot of understanding that you're gaining. You're literally, the snake is around the flower of life. It's almost like ending beginnings. You could even say that life is knowledge, if you will. Knowledge is a very significant thing here for you. All right, let's see your last card. My goodness. Miracles. This is the main card in this deck. It's actually the card that is, oddly enough, the cover of the deck. And I kept talking about the cover, right? Miracles. Have faith. Yeah, your miracles are on the way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. I think it's a beautiful energy, beautiful card to end your reading and end this entire reading, I should say. This is the message, not just for you, Pile 3, but I feel it's been the message for all of them, all of the piles. Truly, it's a time to believe. I think faith is it's leading to a purpose, if you will. It's a beautiful energy. I just quite frankly, I could just sit here and look at the cards that you got and just sit in your energy. That's kind of like what I want to do, quite frankly. I keep doing it, actually, because I keep telling you I'm at a loss for words, but it's just because it's a nice energy to tap into. I hope, honestly, that maybe this is what they were saying here with the meditation practice. Maybe you're meant to sit in your energy a bit, and you'll see how calming and beautiful you are, and how nice it is to just sit with yourself as well. About 3. Wow, very beautiful. I really hope that this message resonated with you guys, and I hope it brought you clarity and confirmation if that's what you needed as well. Thank you so much for sharing your energy, for allowing me to read for you, to tap into a little bit of your path here. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your support overall. And I'll see you in the next one.